All right, I'm on hole number 6 of the 2020 Winter Major. I'm in Monday's practice round in the rookie division. I'm playing in my 99 account, so I got some low-level clubs here. I should qualify that I have some T4 clubs here. It does not take very long to get your T4 clubs up to very usable levels, and mine are at pretty usable levels. So there's 2 ways to get this done. Way number 1 is to come down in here and try and bleed it up into this area. So if you have lots of topspin, so if you got an EM9 or an EM8 or an APOC, getting up in here doesn't take a lot. You can put all of your curl on it so that you're trying to catch it at a narrower spot. But what you don't want to have happen is where you catch it and you bleed off into the rough on the other side. That kind of defeats the purpose. You need to be in the fairway. With my lower level account, I hit this hole several times during practice. And what happened was it's got, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on this hole. Hold on. So if I set myself up here, because I have an extra mile 6 in this account. So I have like curl. What's that word? And so for any of you that have an extra mile 6, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Curl. Wow. I wish I had some. So if you're in this area, my typical MO is I never set myself up. I'm setting the shot up. I'm the one that's setting up my shot. And so why would I set my shot up so that I'm right up against this rough or this sand so that if I hit it great to the right, I'm in the sand? Why would I do that? I always like to give myself 2 rings of separation. So I've got 1 ring, 2 rings of separation between that. And that puts me on this type of track. So in order to get it so that I'm in a narrower part of this rough, you'd put curl on it. But like I said, EM6 has no curl. So if you put yourself 2 rings off, you're in this longer track and you put on that little bit of curl that you have, you're fine if you hit it perfect. But if you hit it great to the left, now you're out here in a thicker part of the rough and you're going to get caught up in it. So in order to combat that, if you got a lower developed extra mile, is you'd be right up against this, where you'd be like right against your yellow ring up against the sand. And if you hit it great to the right, you're in the rough or in the sand, and you hit it great to the left and you may get caught up in the rough. So the only shot you have is perfect. And I don't like that. So what I was working on during the practice session, and I only hit this on the times that I hit this hole, I tried this shot a couple times and was able to get out here. But it's really dangerous down in here. So what I was trying was bringing my big topper and trying to, because the big topper has tons of curl, and trying to bring it around so that I was doing this shot where I could open up the mouth and come at it. And I was pushing up against my red line, and with all the curl that I have, I was ending up in the rough on this side. So I think the trick there is to pull back from the red line a little bit. Leave yourself some separation on this rough and allow that curl to become effective. So by the time the curl comes effective, you're in the fairway and you're running forward. If you're short here and you're in this area, you're probably definitely going to need a big dog if you got lower developed clubs. And you can do the bounce over from here and try and get over, but the best way to do that bounce that is clip the rough, but it won't get you all the way to the green. You'll have a chip shot. So the second shot, this is definitely going to be one of those holes if you got lower developed clubs that it's one shot at a time. The drive is only half the hardness. You still have another hard shot coming up. And then after that, if you do the rough bump and and then you have to make the chip, if you got lower developed clubs, then you still have another hard shot to do. So obviously the farther you can get out here, the better, which wants us to take this shot. But I think we could do this if we brought out a bigger ball than a 3-power ball. But I'm going to try. I want to continue to try this because today's practice. I want to try to see what I can get out here with my big topper to see if I can get into this area. If I get farther than that, that'd be great. But if I could just get to this area, I'd be all right. But I'm going to try with my big topper and see if I can curl that sucker around with a 3-power ball. And because you're using so much topspin on a big topper, a Kingmaker is not really going to help you because you're not going to be able to get, the only way you can get that side spin, that extra side spin you get with a Kingmaker, is if you give up topspin. And I think topspin here is more important. So I'm going to bring a Titan. And then secondary club, I'm going to bring an extra mile, or excuse me, Extra Mile. Yeah, I'm going to bring an Extra Mile as my secondary club. I'm bringing Big Dog as my secondary club. Now, a good choice here could be a Horizon. Horizon hits a little bit farther or a little bit less than the Big Dog, but it has tons of topspin and it's got better ball guide. But it's even less accurate than the Big Dog. When we compare this to like our Viper, as far as distance goes, 170 versus 173, we're picking up a little bit more distance. And let's select that and compare it to the Viper. So we got a little bit better ball guide, a lot worse accuracy, a little bit more distance, a lot more topspin. So we could do a rough bump with the Horizon where we can't do the rough bump with the Viper. So Horizon wouldn't be a bad choice here as well. I'm going to bring Horizon. And it hits, I think my Horizon's 2.8 per ring. Where's it at? Where is it? Wood. I better write that down. I don't have that written down on my notes because I didn't anticipate I was going to use my Horizon. So it's, boy, that's pretty close to 2.9 per ring. Horizon. I'm going to write it down as a 2.9 per ring. That is, no, excuse me, 2.8. What was I thinking? 2.8. 2.8 per ring. If I could learn how to do math today. Let's try it. It's a practice day. Let's try. That's the thing about those epics when you've got lower developed clubs is some of these epics when they're lower level, while you get mid-level clubs, you go, man, those epics suck. They do, because the mid-level clubs have surpassed them. These epics then won't catch back up until they get maxed out. But when you've got lower developed clubs, some of these epics are not bad. That Kingfisher, that's not a bad club. That Firefly, that's not a bad club. The Kingfisher and the Firefly, really, if you've got lower developed stuff, those are two very usable clubs that need to be in your bag, because they have what we're looking for. And what we're looking for is ball guide and accuracy. And this club right here has ball guide and accuracy. And while 3.4 doesn't look like a lot of ball guide, it's a lot when you've got lower developed clubs. That Firefly doesn't have really good accuracy, but it's got 4.1 ball guide. That's huge. And it's got tons of topspin, so we can use it like the upper developed clubs use a Rapier. And I've got a Titan. I think that's all I need. Now let's go make sure, just in case that shot doesn't look good and I've got an Extra Mile, I'm carrying the same secondary clubs with my Extra Mile. There we go. Hole number 6. I've tried this shot going over with the big topper probably 4 times, and I've epic failed 4 times. So I still haven't got it dialed up. And the problem is I've been going too far forward. So I've been getting over to the other side, but I've been ending up in the rough on the left. That's why I'm saying I think I need to pull back just a little. It's more important that we get over to the other fairway than we get that extra little bit of distance. And we're going to get, there we go. We're out on the course. Let's see if my opponent can get up there. And we do have some forward moving wind that we can use that will help us out. Opponent's got a Marlin. With a level 6 Extra Mile, just like me, they're not going to have enough curl. There's not enough curl on your club to start off on the right-hand side and bring it back to the left. So your only real option is to go to the left and bring it back to the right and try and blast that sucker out there. They did not take the wind out, so it's going to push them 2 rings to the left, even on the perfect. So the way it looked is they should end up getting caught up in the rough. And that was a great shot. If they would have taken the wind out, that probably would have gone in there. They probably would have been able to bleed up. You can see where they're at. They definitely would have made the fairway if they would have taken the wind out. Yeah, that's the wrong bag. Let's try this one. There we go. And I've been trying to get like way up here by my red line, but I think I'm going to pull back just a little. 2 rings off. Where is that second bounce going? Maybe. It's 2.8 per ring, so there's 2.8. That leaves me 11. I'm going to do a little bit of an overpull and just do a ring and a half. That gives me a little bit more separation over there. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. And let's see if that's the right line there to get me over, or if I don't have enough. Do I have enough topspin to get me all the way over? I do, and it bled me out into that rough. So the only way I'm going to be able to do that shot is to go back even farther than I went right there, because that big topper isn't developed enough. It doesn't have all of its curl. So with lower developed stuff, either way we look at it, we're going to have some risk involved. And the way that looks right there is the only way we might be able to combat that risk is either pull back farther, or we're just going to have to take our lumps with the extra mile. I think taking our lumps with the extra mile is the way we're going to have to go. Okay. So my goal here would have been where I bled through, it came through on this trajectory right here to get me here. I would have ended up, like best case scenario, I would have ended up somewhere out in this neighborhood. Because if we pull back closer to the tee box in order to get that curl to put us out there in the fairway, we're going to end up with a little less forward moving distance. So that area right there is about the best that we could achieve with that big topper shot. And once again, I don't know that we can get that shot done. Not unless we did a max overpower hook shot there. And that is an option. I'm not exactly sure what the heck just happened. What? What was that? So this would be the shot that we would be looking for right here. And so we've got plenty of room on our red line up there with the horizon. We've got no backspin. So we're looking at the rough bump shot. I'm not sure I'm going to like that shot either. And then my opponent's on the green. So what is going on? What's the deal with that? 2.8 per ring. There's 2.8. Pull a little over. Just going to shoot it up there so I can see if it bleeds through that. How it responds bleeding through that rough, if the ball guide's seriously lying or what it's doing. So the ball guide was not lying. And I had enough ball guide to get all the way up there, but I'm going to need more. Once again, I'm going to get into that thing where I don't have enough side spin. Now, how did my opponent end up out of bounds and now they're on? I wonder if this is a replay situation where I'm playing against a replay, and that's why. Let's see if they'll respond to me. Hey. Let's see if they'll respond. I'm curious to know what just happened there, because there was a cheat out there for a while where people were able to do that. They just smacked the ball out there. They'd end up out of bounds, and the next shot you were on the green and they were on the green. And that's the shot that we would be looking at coming up in order to get our birdie. And we're looking for eagle on that hole. I know that the shot going down to the left, coming back up, is possible with this account just to get out there in the fairway. If you get out there anywhere in the fairway, you can easily get your eagle and move on. And that stuff, I think I'm going to have to work that shot as the week goes on, that the shot from the right, on the right-hand side, coming back out, it's just not the viable way to come at it. 2.5. My Saturn is 2.0 per ring. It's about a ring and a quarter, right back to the red line. Trying to hit it perfect. And I hit it 70 rings great to the right. I was anticipating it. I can't even believe I hit the fairway there. I'm curious to know what just happened with my opponent. That shot that they did, I'm not sure. I am not sure exactly what happened right there. A couple of my teammates have had that happen, and then they went back to watch the replay to see what the person did, and then the replay was totally different than what we just saw out live. So they didn't even have any video. Like, they couldn't put in a ticket and go, hey, what's this person doing? Because what they saw in the replay was what they saw in the replay was the result that they ended up getting on the next shot. But what they saw when they were out on the course was exactly what we saw right there, where the person hit it out of bounds and should have been taking another shot. And then the next thing you know, they're on the green and they're taking a putt. See, and then we have that again, that view right there again. They're at 28.79. Now let's see what what it shows when they're here. Like, is this person using a cheat? And they're at 7.15. So that's 2 shots in a row. We've seen something happen with Shannon. Let's go look at. I'm curious here, guys. You guys will be my video evidence. Let's go look at the replay there and see what happened. Like, what does the replay show? Does the replay show their actual shot? Let's go look at their last. I think it was this shot right here. Let's watch this. This is not the shot. They must sink that shot. Where in the heck did all that happen? I mean, that is not what we saw out there when we were playing at all, is it? Let's look at the replay shot from their replay. I mean, I don't remember that shot at all. What the heck is going on with Shannon? This really is either one of their glitches because we're playing a replay, or Shannon's doing something hinky. What in the heck are they doing? All right, hit it great. It definitely hit it 70 rings great to the left. So that's the shot that they got scored for, but that's definitely not what we saw when we were out on the field, nor is the other shot. So I have no idea what's going on with the how that's working out, but something weird's going on there. It looks like it might be on Playdemic's side on how they're showing the shot on the other end. All right, that was hole number 6 of the 2020 Winter Major and Monday's practice round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.